A very tense moment for him. There, his coach helping him onto the rings, making sure he's absolutely balanced, perfectly still. That a new coach for this competition. They've been trying to put an edge on Li Ning's performance, so that he's not only brilliant, but also wins. So far, it's absolutely marvelous stuff. Look at the control, look at the strength. See how slowly he swings up to that position. That's a mark of his confidence. A little bit of wavering there, but now building up to the dismount. Double straight back to finish. A great start for Li Ning. John Atkinson, British coaching director, what did you think of that for openers?
A brilliant exercise with an original move at the beginning. The first time in the world the double Steinerman's been achieved at the start of his exercise.
But a chance here to see that dismount again. The double straight back. And there it is in the background there. You can see it as it came up. 9.8. A tremendous opener there for Li Ning. Really thrown down the gauntlet. There, the cross position. Beautiful line with this gymnast. Again, just like Li Ning, wonderful precision there, and the double straight back finish. Another tremendous exercise on the rings. And straightway to Xu Ziqiang on the pommel horse. This, the gymnast that the Chinese feel has made most progress recently. Flaring there, and then pirouetting, hands between the pommels to his dismount. Into that flaring section on the pommels, then hand in between, travels down to the near end on the pirouette dismount. And we pick up Yuri Korolev, the reigning world champion, just coming into his final tumbling run on the floor. So much going on. Oh, and finishing up with a beautiful straight double back. Almost looking a little bit angry with himself there because he had to take a tiny little adjustment step. And the scores just come up for that pommel halt exercise. Sorry, that rings exercise from Mogilny, 9.8. He's equaled Li Ning on the opening round. And Xu Ziqiang scored 9.75. There's Korolev's score, 9.7. Good score for him on the floor. 22 years old. Trains with Korolev at Vladimir. Oh, a lovely double straight back opener. Big step back on the full in back out, but a difficult second tumble. Fancy all the Russians now showing greater flexibility in their balances. And lands the double tuck back to finish with. Double straight back, full in back out, and double tuck back. Not a bad 3 finishing tumbles on those 3 runs. Artyomov, just that final tumbling run again. There it is, the double top back and just the smallest of steps backwards to adjust on the landing. And Artyomov's score, 9.6. Well, after the first round, it's not exactly comparable, of course, because they're on different pieces of apparatus, but Li Ning and Valentin Moghelny in the lead with 9.8. Xu Ziqiang, 9.75. Yuri Korolev, 9.7. Silvio Kroll, 9.65. And Vladimir Artyomov, 9.6. All the names we expected right up there after rotation one. Great buzz of anticipation from the crowd. Li Ning there just mentally and a little bit physically rehearsing his vault twisting. Signals to the judges. Now on the vault, the men, of course, have only one chance. They've got to get it dead right. What are we going to see from him? Absolute concentration. Started brilliantly with 9.8. Here he goes. Double twisting Sukahara there. Lands really well. With me, John Atkinson, the British Gymnastics Association Director of Coaching. Li Ning really going well.
Yes, the second apparatus, a brilliant vault. Here we notice a very high strike, and now we see the double twist, followed by a near perfect landing.
A 9.6 to go with his 9.8. Silvio Kroll on the ring. Kroll very much in contention. Fifth place after the first round. Oh, there, a beautiful double front with half twist out. Very difficult dismount. The young East German once again going well. Chance to see that finish there from Kroll. Forward giant into the double front, half twist out. Valentin Moghelny, the young Russian, equaled Li Ning in the first round. What can he do on the vault?
That vault was a handspring front somersault with 1.5 twists to a very low landing, but both of these two top gymnasts have gone for extremely high tariff vaults.
Yes, and it was Li Ning who came out of it better. Here's a really high vault, but just watching this, Moghelny, very difficult. Here he goes. The front plant onto the horse. There's the somersault, half twist and another twist now, but he didn't have enough height off the horse and the knees touched. Now what are the judges going to take off him there? This a real crisis moment for the Russians. There, 9.5 is the score, not for Moghelny, but for Silvio Kroll. Korolev on the pommel horse. The man who just doesn't make mistakes in majors, but he struggled a little bit in that transition. And Moghelny's score that we were waiting for on the vault has just come up, 9.2. So they're going to be relying on this man, Yuri Korolev, to produce the goods for them. 9.2 in this short version of the competition, almost impossible to pull back. Do you agree with that, John Atkinson?
Quite agree with you, and I think the pressure now, after that slight error by Korolev on pommels, is being placed on Artyomov.
Well, the Russians certainly going through a dramatic first couple of rotations. Here is Korolev, at this stage going extremely well, that good line that he gets. And that's his dismount, but before that he'd made a major mistake. Korolev's score there, 9.55. Not terrible, but that is a major mistake at this level of competition. After a long wait, Xu Ziqiang with 9.75 in the first round. A really good exercise here, and he's going to be up there at the top of the leaderboard with his countryman Li Ning. Didn't quite hold that half lever there, but tremendously strong work so far. That's how it's meant to look. Front giant handstand. Back giant swings through it and double straight back to finish. Lands it absolutely beautifully. Lu Yun onto the pommel horse. Oh, a bit messy there. He went from the shears. That good work there on the end of the pommel. Up and nice and clean on his finish. Always in control. John Atkinson, we normally start thinking about mistakes under pressure coming from the Chinese. So far, it seems to have been the Russians who've cracked.
We've just seen two Chinese exercises. The ring exercise of Zhu was one of the most fantastic exercises I've ever seen. It combined strength and swing to perfection. Here we see this beautiful double straight dismount. But he out-Russianed the Russians by starting with the famous Azarian cross and then pulled out of it. And then Lu Yun followed with a very well-executed pommel horse for a man who hasn't quite got the shape for it.
There we see that transfer from the shears, goes up through handstand and comes down. It's a bit stocky, it's hard for him to look elegant, but very competent. That the important scoreboard. Number 12 is Xu Ziqiang. Laurent Barbieri, the Frenchman, the man waiting to go onto the rings. Lu Yun's score just come up, 9.6. There it is. And for Xu, another 9.75. After 2 rounds, it's Xu Ziqiang who's taken the lead. 19.5 his total. Li Ning just behind with 19.4. Vladimir Artyomov 19.3. Yuri Korolev 19.25. And Sven Tippelt up there with 19.2. 6th place shared between Silvio Kroll and Lu Yun, 19.15. Li Ning's 3rd piece of apparatus. Straight into flares on the end of the P-bars. A long swing. Diamidov 1 1/4. Nice foot turn. Stutz again. Well, a little bit, if one wanted to be picky about the dismount, he threw it a little bit too far back, but until then it was absolutely marvelous. And the Chinese certainly firing on all cylinders at the moment, full of confidence, enjoying being in front of their own crowd. As we expected, it is a packed house, and that on the first session of a world tournament is pretty unusual. The head judge on the parallel bars, the great Eberhard Ginger from West Germany. He's been full of fun ever since we've been here in Peking. Absolutely determined, he says, that he's going to make sure the judging's absolutely fair. There, that leaning dismount again. Well, it looked better the second time. I was probably being very harsh on him, John Atkinson.
I think everybody's sighing with relief that Li Ning has actually done his P-bar exercise, because this has been the one piece of apparatus which has caused his downfall in the Los Angeles Olympics and in 2 World Championships. So I think the audience and ourselves were very glad when he landed.
But this competition, of course, absolutely ideal for Li Ning. He only has to go through his voluntaries once. Oh, and it's a superb mark, 9.8. What a battle we've now got going on between the 2 Chinese there at the head of the field, Li Ning and Xu Ziqiang. There's a man now with some problems to face. Yuri Korolev, he's down in 4th place. 0.25 adrift of the leader after 2 rotations. He's just seen Li Ning, and certainly the applause of the crowd would have drawn his attention to it. Score 9.8 on the parallel bars, and he knows that he's got to pull something very special out here, but if ever a man can do it, it's him. There's his coach, Sasha Fyodorov, in the background. If he looks particularly glum, that's because I don't think I've ever seen him smile during competition. Really a very pleasant man, always ready with a joke when he's off the podium. Korolev, the man they say never makes a mistake in the big competition. The one he's made already, really not disastrous yet, but he certainly can't afford any more. Inverted cross, swing to inverted cross. Beautiful. And then the classic cross position. And not one little move lost on this huge crowd. And doubled straight back, and no swing into it. Beautifully executed. Very tight indeed. The sort of comeback one expects from a champion.
He is the world champion on ring, John, in Montreal, so this was a good piece for him to start his fight back again. And as you saw in the background, Fyodorov was delighted by that.
Another man who needs more than an ordinary sort of comeback. A brilliant parallel bar worker, Valentin Mogelny. But we're back to the replay there. Look at that dismount. For Korolev, tremendous finish for him on the ring. Mogelny waiting for the parallel bars judges to be ready for him. He in a real crisis point. He's a brilliant parallel bar worker, but he slipped from 1st position at the end of the 1st round to 10th position at the end of the 2nd round. And that's Korolev's score, 9.8 for him. A tremendous answer to the challenge thrown down by Li Ning. Straight into Mogelny's P-bar. Diamidov there. Oh, beautifully round a second Diamidov. Healy turn. Packed with really difficult elements, this. Absolutely superb. There's nobody in the world who can include such difficulty in his P-bar routine as this. And look at the line he gets. And the height there on that dismount was unbelievable. Now that is going to take some marking, John.
In combination and in individual elements, that is probably the finest exercise that's ever been executed on P-bars. And I think the judges, having put Li Ning on a 9.8, are going to have problems to properly evaluate it.
There's the dismount. Look at that height. And really, the parallel bar is the most difficult piece of apparatus to get that sort of elevation off. You normally see them throwing a low one sideways, but he really soared on that one. Xu Ziqiang vaulting. He, the leader of the competition at the moment, picked up a little late there. Let's wait till we see the replay. Let's hope that we see the replay. And that's the Miguelnia score, 9.9. The highest score we've seen so far in the competition. And really, if they were going to give 10s, I think that was a 10. But they're obviously not. We move through to Lu Yun on the ring. Very easy for him there. Ooh, quite a big overbalance twice there. And he certainly hasn't got the elegance of the taller gymnast, but that was a superb finish. And the score for Xu Ziqiang's vault just come through, 9.65. Now he spreads the rings to give himself room, the giant, and then into the double back dismount. Xu Ziqiang falling back into second place with that vault score, but here's Lu Yun, the third Chinese gymnast, 9.6. It's another strong mark for him. He started this round in equal sixth place. And certainly won't have done himself any harm with that mark. After 3 rounds then, Li Ning retakes the lead, a total of 29.2. Xu Ziqiang, 29.15, so close behind him. Yuri Korolev holding on there in third place, 29.05, and Vladimir Artyomov at 29. Third place. He's 0.1 behind Xu Ziqiang and 0.15 behind Li Ning. He's the joint gold medalist on the vault from the World Championships. Their beautiful one-arm Sukahara in the straight position really once again showed that when the pressure's on, he's a tremendous competitor. There, Xu Ziqiang busily preparing the parallel bars. The man in second place. Just 0.05 behind Li Ning. 9.7 there for Yuri Korolev. Another good mark, but the way the Chinese have been going, it might not even be good enough to move him any closer to them. Artemyov now on the runway, the silver medalist in the all-around competition in Montreal. That's back to Korolyev's mark, but here goes Artemyov. Full twisting, straight Sukahara. Good flight position, a bit messy. Again, it's those 1 2/10 deductions that you've got to look for at this level. At last, he's ready to Xu Ziqiang, signals the judges. A moment's concentration, and here we go. Look at that line. Giant swing and straight into a Diamedov. Diamedov 1 1/4 onto the single bar work. Stutz turn. It really is perfect stuff so far, and look at that landing. He had time to look down at it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, what are they going to give that one? My, we've seen some amazing parallel bar work. Liu Yun to the vault. Oh, handspring front 1 1/2 there in the straight position to the turn. A fantastic vault from him. There's the scoreboard. 9.9. Xu Ziqiang equals the score for Valentin Mogielny. He waves to the crowd, some of them showing disapproval. Liu Yun score 9.65, and that unmistakably the great man himself, leaning, coming on to one of his favorite pieces of apparatus, the high bar. Even though the gymnasts are in just 3 groups, they're moving around the apparatus in the normal Olympic rotation. So 3 pieces idle and 3 in use. And here goes Lee. In the lead, but Xu scored that sensational 9.9 in this rotation. They're the one-arm work. Markelov there. Oh, beautiful full twist there on the one arm. Shoulder. One arm again. 3 separate sections of one arm. Changes direction. Builds now up to his dismount. And he's gone for the triple. Gets plenty of height, lands it well. The big step forward, though, means that he certainly has to be 2/10 away, I think, there, John.
Yes, there were 2 errors on the bar and an error in the dismount. He does amazingly original work. His squat in to full twist out onto one arm, he had to disguise with a fallback into a Stalder, which I'm sure everyone saw. And at the beginning, I was quite surprised that he had such a simple beginning as a backup short clear before he went into his full twisting long arm. Here's the highest Markel up in the world. Beautifully executed.
And there's his score, 9.65. Well, I think we'd say he was quite lucky to get out of it with that.
Yes, I think everybody will be agreeing that that score. It still keeps him in the competition, but I'm now beginning to think you should be averaging around 9.8 to win this event.
So as the gymnasts warm up for round 5, a clip onto the parallel bars. He's still well in touch with Li Ning, but Xu Ziqiang going out the way. Oh, a beautiful move there to start off his exercise. Swing up straight into the Diamedov turn. Still adding new elements all the time to his routine. Flying back Stutz turn, double somersault, landed absolutely perfectly. And we go straight to the high bar, and what a moment to join it. Xu Ziqiang, the leader of the competition, coming to grief there in spectacular fashion. He's got 30 seconds to remount. He's just got to compose himself. He can't lose any more marks than he's already lost, providing he's back on the bar within those 30 seconds. So that composure, so important. I couldn't see John Atkinson. Was it the Jaeger somersault or was it the Delchev?
Straight Jaeger.
Back into it. Gets the next release and catch right. Building up now to the dismount. Double straight back. That was absolutely beautiful, but I'm afraid there's nothing that he can do about the 0.5 that got away. And that's very significant, leaning with two of his strongest pieces to come. But he cannot score 9.5, and we think it must be down about 9.4, 9.3. Beautiful dismount there, and to make his sadness even worse as he goes back, there you can see 9.9, the score for Korolyev on parallel bars. 9.25. Xu Ziqiang, 9.25. Li Ning, the man now who has the chance to take the lead, but he's been put under severe pressure from behind. Yuri Korolyev at 9.9 on the parallel bars means that Li Ning must score 9.8 to keep a share of the lead here. 9.85 if he's going to actually gain an outright lead. Went into this rotation behind Xu, but Xu with that spectacular fall, fallen back. And are we going to see a late burst by the Russian gymnast that takes them through when they've never ever been in the lead since the first round? Li Ning mentally rehearsing it. Oh, fantastic. A double twisting, double back somersault to open up with. What talent this man's got. Oh, and he lands a double pike back, coming straight out of it so easily. The cheer in the background there for Liu Yun, just finishing his parallel bars exercise. Now he's got the full attention of the audience. Just a side somersault thrown in as a little extra. There's the balance, steady as a rock there. This final tumble run. Oh, and again, he's almost got a high kick out of the double back to finish with. Very often you see the gymnasts in practice throw a high kick out of a single somersault when they're rehearsing a double back, but there, John Atkinson, quite spectacular.
Yes, this is an exercise which has won gold medals in many competitions, and I think he has put it together at the right time. Whether or not it will be strong enough to withstand Korolyev's pressure, I don't know. I think here we are seeing his opening tumble, a double twisting, double back somersault, which is a unique feat. And here an almost perfect landing.
And there it is, 9.75. You can hear what the crowd think of it, but they've been consistent all the time. There were certainly little faults there. It was spectacular, but that means we've got a new leader. Yuri Korolyev, at the end of the 5th round, is going to take the lead. So a dramatic change at the end of the 5th rotation. Xu Ziqiang to the floor. His last piece of apparatus slipped back to 5th place as a result of that disastrous fall on the high bar. Can he get back into the medals? Oh, lovely double back punch front through to the front support position. So in fact, a 1 1/4 punch front. Lovely Arabian dive roll. Tremendous control on that lift. But really, unless there are disasters from Li Ning and from Yuri Korolev, he can't do anything about the goal position now. A yell from one of the crowd, urging him on. Under-rotated that, bad step forward. I think that will mean that Xu Ziqiang will be out of the medals. Liu Yun onto the high bar. Goes into this final rotation in 6th place. Will be hoping to overtake his countryman, Xu Ziqiang. Oh, well, there goes that dream. He's disgusted with himself. He really is. The high bar just above us. And although it's a spectacular move, I don't think he sees it as the most difficult element in his routine, John Atkinson. But he got it totally wrong then.
I think that's the nearest I've ever seen to a Chinese express ill-discipline, almost, the look on his face when he came from the bar. It seems as if the pressure of the last event is starting to tell.
Beautifully back into the exercise, though. Great pity because it's full of content. There, beautiful double front back away with a half twist out of it to finish with. And we shoot straight to the scoreboard, 9.7. That score for Xu Ziqiang on his floor exercise. He needs the exercise of a lifetime if this huge crowd here in the Capital Gymnasium are not to be disappointed. Look at that lovely line. He gets on the pommels. The slightest touch, though, on the pommel horse will throw him. Beautiful change. That's so difficult to go from the rotation to the shears fluently. Hop there, onto the end, travelling, and a marvellous hop at the end. John Atkinson, did he get that complete, or did he cheat it a shade on that dismount?
No, the dismount was accurate. It's a new element, and it's a reverse pirouette completely up the horse from the hop players. And everybody's absolutely thrilled with that performance.
9.85. The look of calm on his face. He's concentrating on nothing but his exercise. Waits to take the podium till he's absolutely ready. And up he goes. One arm to catch him, straight into two-arm catch-up. That's a great start from him. Now really, it ought to be all about the finish. There's his Jaeger. Sasha Fyodorov, his coach, right in front of us, takes a step backwards, relaxes just a little bit more, and he sticks the double straight back somersault. Fyodorov punches the air, even if Korolev doesn't. And now we can just wait and see. It was a superb exercise, though.
I promised you the 3 releases and recatches, and you said he needs to put the finish together. He did it all. Now it's up to the judges.
Oh, and the score, 9.8. 9.8 the score, Yuri Korolev. And that puts a dead heat between Li Ning and Yuri Korolev. A dead heat. Who'd have thought it? So 2 gold medals round the neck of Yuri Korolev.